Should I shave my head?
That, yes.
Are you sure?
Whatever you want to do, I support.
Whatever I want to do?
Yeah, I
I'll
totally
do it right
forgot
now.
about that.
I'll do it right now. I've never wanted to be married. I've never thought about it as something that's like a real possibility for me even.
But it had its good moments too, but it was definitely a challenge.
Yeah. So like the dichotomy of that, like that really was like fucking grow or die.
It was really hard surviving on our savings because we had to sell everything in Suriname.
You ready? I'll do it. Not feel like I'm the natural on screen.
How does it look?
Skull.
School.
No more Cheez-Its. It's ruining the audio. First of all, it's important to tell ourselves that it's literally 7 p.m. the 31st of December 2024. It's literally a couple hours away from 2025. And I'm an old fucking man. I'm so old. I'm so
You're
old.
27.
I'm 28. About to be 29.
Here are signs that you're reaching unk status. You were born before 2006. You've succumbed into a deep state of dissatisfaction due to the reality of being a grown-up now.
I'm ancient. Fuck.
No, we're 27.
Are you sure?
Yes, 100% sure. You're 27, about to be 28, bro. We were born
What?
in 1997. We are 27 years further. We'll be 28 in 2025.
Okay.
Don't add years to my life.
I'm still ancient. I'm still so old. I feel way older than I am.
So, remember when we were planning our first wedding, that never happened, by the way, in Suriname?
Yeah.
We went to see the Pandit, and he literally said we
See,
would
this
find
part-
success in each other and
That part I
happiness in
remember.
each other.
Yeah. That part I remember clearly. Like, that part has been etched into my brain. Because, like, I don't figure myself a very religious man. As a matter of fact, I was a very angry atheist as a teenager, as a little prepubescent child. But I've grown into a much more spiritual type of person. But yeah, that did always stick with me. I love America. I feel like America loves me. And that phrase just keeps repeating in my head. And it started as soon as we got here. To some degree, I feel like it was kind of like a out of necessity. Or it's like I have to love it here. Or else, what's the fucking point? You know? Like,
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I don't think Americans necessarily love me, but at least not half of them. But I saw a interesting, I don't know if it was a TikTok reel or Instagram reel. I'm assuming Instagram, of this Indian guy, native Indian guy.
A woman once asked me my Indian name, and I said, "It's Greg." And she was so disappointed. She was like, "No, it has to be Red Eagle or Two Rivers or Gray Skull." I said, "Yes, wait, is that for real?" No, I said, without her realizing my brief but generationally relevant He-Man joke, the kind of joke that would tell her that while Indian, I'm also having an American experience too. I finally said to her, "How about Walking Eagle?" And she said, "Yes, but is that true?" I said, "Yes, it's totally true." And I never had the heart to tell her that the only time an eagle walks is when it's too full of shit to fly. Because I'm a bad Indian.
Like I was saying, I love America. I think America loves me. And I think I've grown into that being a reality. And to some degree, and like this is what I was talking about in the car, where I feel like I'm not really a people pleaser. I'm very much like an anarchist in ways, and I like being contrarian in certain aspects of life and art. Like this, but I'm also very much like a people pleaser underneath it all. The traditional wedding was like definitely partially for you, partially for my mom, and then maybe 10% for me. You know, like I've never wanted to be married. I've never thought about it as something that's like a real possibility for me even. You know, it's like most of my relationships have not panned out. And most of the time it is my fault, and that's okay. Like I've reached out to most everybody that I've ever hurt and apologized, and some people have accepted, some people have not, which is completely fine. But I just never thought I would get married. I never even thought I would live to this far. I do feel like once we started suffering together, like that was real. That was sick. Like, that was so bad.
Yeah.
When we first got here, we were sleeping on an air mattress in your sister's spare bedroom on a leaky air mattress.
Yeah, we held
pillow.
each other up.
Yeah, you were fucking up here. I was not there. Man, that was intense, man, and like
That was intense. I feel like in that period we also experienced a lot of fights as a couple.
yeah.
Which is good because, like, we are gonna fight. But we're still learning. But I think after each fight, it's easier to navigate a uncomfortable situation between us.
Yeah. Plus, I think, like, I said this to Mike as well when he asked me advice because I'm married, and like it was just a Jordan Peterson thing, and like Jordan Peterson has his fucking issues. Everybody does, you know. Like you can find dirt on anything. Like
I do not know who Jordan Peterson is.
that's okay. The people will know.
In my 3 decades as a professor and clinical psychologist, I've learned nothing. It's like the rats. The little rat is little and small, this big. At the same time, the big rat is like this, like a total barbarian. He's just a complete fraud. The little rat is just trying to figure out a fast way to make cars. Why would the little rat care? Let the little rat cook. It's low resolution. It's low resolution.
I like his philosophy on marriage. As soon as you get married, it stops being a fight between like you and me. It's like it's us against the problem, and like we just need to realize that. And I think the fact that we essentially got to spend a year together in Suriname just existing, just being a young couple in love, not having any real responsibilities,
No responsibility.
barely working, like we were living the fucking dream for a full year.
Yeah.
Like most people never get that, you know, like they're always working, and like we got to properly fall in love and like really spend time together, and I thought that was really nice.
That was really
And
nice.
then to go from that to instantly suffering and like, oh my god, that for 8 months, and then we had to live with again, she was great, but then we had to live with a roommate who had a kid, and then got pregnant with another kid,
a toddler, a 4-year-old.
Oh my goodness, that was intense. And we had like this tiny little room because like everything else belonged to her, and she had lived here for 5 years already.
Right.
So like it was the cheapest thing and the only person that would take us in. That was so fucking intense.
Yeah. But it had its good moments too, but it was definitely a challenge.
Yeah. So to, like the dichotomy of that, like that really was like fucking grow or die, you know?
Yeah.
And I think like that's also to some degree, like I was semi-aware of like that was gonna be the case. I just wasn't aware of how intense it was gonna be, like, which is why I got this little tattoo here, which is like this one, which is like let go or be dragged, you know? Because I was very much I was all into this relationship, and I was like, whatever, if you want to live here, if you want to live there, I'm in. But fuck.
Yeah. And when we first moved here, it was very hard to find a job. I found a job after we moved here in October, and I got the job in March. So that's like 5 months.
Yeah.
Well, it was the beginning of March, so let's say 4 months. It was really hard surviving on our savings because we had to sell everything in Suriname. And I did have like the little part-time job that didn't give me a lot of money.
You were making below minimum wage of where we were living.
Yeah.
Because you were working online.
And part-time. So it was part-time. They couldn't give me full-time hours. They paid me below minimum wage. But it was online, so that was nice. But
That was the one perk.
It was hard, man. Like financially, it was hard. And I got off jobs here and there tutoring people, but that sucked. Oh my god.
I had to drive Uber.
Oh, Uber driving was the worst. Oh my god, I sometimes went with you, and it was fun spending time with you. Don't get me wrong, but like that whole, especially if we got an order at McDonald's.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that was horrible. We're in little Bellingham in the corner of Washington State with 2 McDonald's or something like that, and there's always a line at McDonald's. I think we waited for 45 minutes.
I think
or
so.
something like that, and that's like the average wait time I think for McDonald's in this area, and it's insane because it's fast food.
Especially the weekend, you know, like if it's not a weekend, like I'm sure it's not that, but weekends, man, all the drunk people don't want to leave their apartment, all are stoned, and because it takes 45 minutes, they're like, well, I'm not going to do it, and then it takes me 45 minutes, and then they're like, well, it took you 45 minutes, I'm not going to tip, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's
jeez, man. Hell.
It's not a great gig.
Yeah. And then I got another job where I had to drive 2 hours away to Everett. So I had to drive 2 hours there, work there for whatever amount of hours, and then drive 2 hours back.
And sometimes you'd have to stay there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And that was all commission. I didn't make any hourly pay, anything like that. I feel like I didn't really explain that very well the first time around, so I'm just going to try explaining it again. So I got a new job, and it was selling solar panels. I would have to drive from where I live to Everett, which is about 2 hours away from us. So I'd have to drive 6 a.m., 2 hours there, get there. Let's say my first appointment with a client is at 9 a.m. or whatever. I would have an appointment at 9 a.m., 11, 1, 3, 5, 7, right? So I'd work all day. And then usually, honestly, the last appointments wouldn't really show most of the time. So at 7 p.m. I would go to their house, and they either wouldn't be there or they wouldn't pick up their phone or whatever. And then I would have to drive back another 2 hours and get home at like 9 p.m. Or if they did show, I would have to spend an hour to 2 talking with them about their options and whatnot. And then I would get home even later. So even if I got like a client, it was hard. It was really, really hard. I feel like it was sick though. It's character building, but it was hard. I just wanted to explain that real quick because I feel like I did a horrible job the first time. That was hard, man.
That was hard. Like, you didn't sleep home every night.
I know.
And yeah, I missed you, to say the least. And then when I did finally get a job, it was working at Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Which I have to admit, I do enjoy being physically active. And I do consider myself a hard worker. So yeah, it's not the best job. It's not the most glamorous job, but it paid better. And I had a job, you know, like a full-time job. Oh, the hours. The hours are shit. So then I was working 3 to 11, and Francis was getting up at 6 a.m., driving to Everett to do solar sales. He would spend the night there. We barely saw each other during that period.
Yeah, that was tough. You gotta grind, you gotta do what you gotta do. And at that point, like, we also found, even before that, actually, I found Alex, his YouTube channel. I think I found it, like, right the perfect time. I think I was just still driving Uber, and I was like, I can't fucking do this. And then I found one of those videos. I don't know if it was exactly the one where he was like, watch this if you're tired of being poor, but...
The young man who stopped me at the grocery store working 2 jobs and the 1-year-old who asked advice on how to get ahead. I gave you a short answer because I was in a rush, and it ate at me. So if you follow me here, maybe you'll read this. What you're going through is tough. Being so young and already having to support a child is not easy, but you'll have the opportunity to become an amazing inspiration in a way I never could. Your success story will become your sermon.
I remember watching the Watch This one, like, on the way to Everett all the time. Mm-hmm. When I was doing sales, because like that was exactly his advice. He was like, buy a shitty car. That's what we did eventually. Cash. Yeah. And then he was like, drive Uber, and then he was like, do sales, get any sales job. So that's what I did. Yeah.
You would take the one car we had, and I would catch rides with Addie. Shout out Addie, my best friend, and my sister. They would take me to work and bring me home all the time.
True. And it's also like very, I don't want to say humbling, but because like people do work at Trader Joe's for a very long time until old age, which is fine. But
Yeah.
it is kind of like a blow to the ego to be essentially what the Dutch call a vakkenvuller, because it was really hard to find a job. But I feel like once the ball gets rolling, you have to take advantage of the momentum, you know? And like you got that one, and we, after 2 months or something like that, started looking for another job instantly, and then even that took a while, and eventually you got a good one.
Yeah, it took a year to find a second job. I remember I didn't even want to do the interview. I was like, I'm so underqualified for this job because I'm a bookkeeper now, but I had no bookkeeping experience 1 year ago. And I applied. They liked my resume, my honest to God resume with zero experience, but I had experience in mathematics and arithmetics and teaching, and I'm pursuing a computer science degree. So those were all favorable things to the firm, and we had the interview, we vibed, and they hired me at a higher rate than I was making at Trader Joe's.
But I think that's also important to realize. When I got hired at my current job as well as a video editor at, good hourly as well, like eventually, like my manager told me as well, like the most important thing to us is vibes. Like we've had some people who are, they went to film school, they know all this fancy shit, but if we can't get along as a team, it's not worth it. Like they're just not going to get hired. So I feel like that's also like an undervalued skill that like we still need to work on even more, even though clearly we passed the vibe check at our current jobs.
Yeah.
But like, we can always get better. Because like that's something that's invaluable, bro. That's so important to just get along with people, because you're going to spend 40 hours of your life per week with these people.
This is true. And another thing to note is that Trader Joe's, the first job I got the first real job I got when we got here, is a very vibey spot. Like everyone who got hired there is basically an extrovert and easy to talk to. They'll carry the conversation for you. But switching from that to an accounting firm, like you can already see the difference in personalities with these two groups of people. So it was very easy to just go with the current in Trader Joe's because everyone was, and my sister worked there, my best friend worked there. That's how I got the job, actually. My sister kept recommending me. So it was easy to vibe with everyone there. But I feel like it took me almost a year, not quite a year, because it was after the move to Linden. So let's say a good 8 months before the vibes got more comfortable and less forced and more natural vibes, but just not what I was used to.
Yeah.
When I was working at Trader Joe's.
And I think now going into 2025, I feel like the one thing I've really neglected as soon as I got to America was physical health. And I gained like 50 pounds of pure fat, like a mad lad. And I think over the last year or two, I've started working out again. Mm-hmm. And it's been great. It's been great. I love working out. I love being physically active. I've always struggled with my weight. I've always been a chubby kid, but I've always been very agile, very She should be more on beat every time I say fuck. We should train her.
Be our little bleeper.
When I was in Suriname, the way I trained was purely for strength, and then as a side effect of that, I lost weight. And as a side effect of that, I lost body fat. I think maybe it's getting older, maybe it's because I have a desk job. I don't think that works anymore. It just doesn't. So I have to work out more, I have to do more cardio, because I've been working out, I've been gaining muscle, but I have not been losing fat, really. Well, a little bit, but that's just because I got absurdly fat when first moving here. These American foods are crazy, and I think the Americans will be the first to let you know that the American foods are crazy.
I was about to say, yeah, you went from eating Surinamese food, and you
Homemade,
were basically
mom's cooking, mom.
You were basically on a carnivore diet.
Yeah.
You would only eat Sranafalu chicken.
Shout out, we put the logo right there.
Beef and Yeah, you were basically on a carnivore diet, and
That's
it was good meat. You know, it was grown in Suriname. We know
Hormone free.
We knew where it came from.
Yeah.
And now we're
to
in
table. as
farm
they
to
say.
table. That is it right there. And now we're in America, and
Who
everything
even
is.
knows if it's real meat? You know.
Bruh.
Sometimes I eat the orange chicken from the market, and I'm just tasting the sponge in it, and I'm like, that's okay.
We're on that microplastic diet now. You know, like not everyone knows about it. It's a pretty high end. Happy New Year! Woo!
Happy New Year!
2025.
Nice. So essentially, it's 2025.
For us, for sure.
It's 2025. I want to get more in shape. I want to get more serious about my physical well-being, and I feel like, well, more importantly, my knowledge. I want to get more knowledgeable. I want to start a business at some point, and that all starts with physical. I feel like if I'm physically in shape, I can be more sharp.
I agree, like wholeheartedly. I only recently started working out with you,
And
and
you're fucking killing it, dude.
I also feel more in control. Like I still get my sadness and my delusional thoughts, but you know, I don't let them dictate my actions as much, and I'm able to process them faster. Like they don't keep me down as long. So I think it's a combination of being strong and healthy, but then also confident. The confidence that comes with
Working out.
getting strong. Yeah, because I have an issue with the manly body and getting wide shoulders and looking a little bit muscular, because in my head it's a little bit of a male physique, which is a really old school way of thinking, and it's just not what I want for me. It's not that I don't think it's pretty on other ladies, but overall I think I want to be strong more than I don't want that.
Yeah.
And it's just cool to see what your body is capable of doing, you know? I think that creates confidence. Getting confidence in your body creates confidence in your mind as well.
100%. Like when I first started working out, it was out of rage. It was out of hatred. I was so angry. I was so filled with self-hate, and I could never do it with somebody else. I could never have a gym partner. Like even one time, I have two friends that tried to visit me in the gym. It was John Madha and Farid. At some point, they randomly showed up to my gym, and I was just very uncomfortable with even being seen in that position of me working out, because like that was my therapy. I've been to like 8 or 9 therapists, and like I've never, and I'm a big proponent that everybody should go to therapy. It wasn't enough for me. You know, therapy is not enough. I need to fucking hurt and do some heavy lifting. I need to lift some heavy fucking weights and feel like a goddamn caveman. I feel like it took me 1.5 years at the very least to get confident enough to where I was like, damn, I'm actually feeling okay. I'm actually feeling not horrible all the time. This is sick. And then, you know, it's very easy, because I feel like at that point it was very much like what Alex talks about, where it's like, oh, if you have a goal, once you hit that, like you're just gonna drop down. Because like then I felt great, and I was like, sick, I don't have to do this anymore. I don't have to go to the gym. I can start drinking again, this and that. And then obviously I started to feel like shit again, and I was like, damn, who could have thunk, you know? And so that was also like a little bit of a learning moment for me. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, okay, so this is just one of those infinite games. I just have to do this forever. And it's not like, at first it was very much like a negative mindset thing, where I was like, oh, now I have to work out forever, or else I'll die, or else I'll be sad again, and then I'll hate myself. But the more I've done it, the more I've realized that, like, at first I would go to the gym, and then I would afterwards I would grab a beer or a chocolate bar and reward myself for going to the beer. And the more I've gone to the gym, the more I've realized that the workout is the treat, you know? Like, if I want something sweet, eventually I can have it, whatever. But it's completely uncorrelated with the fact that I went to the gym. Like, I need to. I just had to make that switch in my head where I was like, the workout is the goal. It's just you have to keep doing it no matter what. It's the consistency that matters.
It's the consistency that matters. Yeah, and like with most things in life, the process should be rewarding, but it's hard to get to that mindset because most things the reward is very, very much delayed.
Yeah.
So it is very much an active process of reminding yourself, okay, I'm doing this now so that a year from now I'll be healthier. I'll have more mental clarity. I'm going to school now so that a year from now I'll have knowledge.
Okay, goals for 2025. Me personally, I want to get down to 12. Maybe. I want to get down to at least 15% body fat. Right now I'm at 22.5. If you don't count the holidays, realistically I'm probably at 25 right now. So I need to lose 10% body fat. I want to do that by the end of the year. But hopefully if I let the anger fuel me, I can do it maybe 6 months. I'm hoping I can cut that time in half. But I also need to know that, again, infinite games and staying in the game is more important than finishing fast.
Yes.
That's what she said. But yeah, so if I think by the end of the year I'm at 15% body fat, that's a great goal. But then more importantly than reaching it and or not reaching it is being consistent in that direction.
Yeah.
That I want to read 12 books. That's not counting the books that I have to read for work. So that's also one a month. So that would be about 24 books in total. But some of the books are very much books that I've already read before. And as Alex, as well as my boss, would say, most people need reminding more than they need. Most people need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. So I'm just going to reread some books. One of them is Atomic Habits. One of them is How to Win Friends and Influence People. I'm hoping to get to 12 books, 6 of which I've probably already read. I'm just going to reread them, remind myself why I'm doing this. We found this fucking guy, Ramit. Shout out Indian brother.
Ramit. He is amazing. Check him out on YouTube. He has great stuff. Check out his book. I'm reading that right now.
Dude, he just published a new book called Money for Couples.
We should get it.
We finish this one first.
After I finish this one.
But yeah, like we're going to follow all of his steps. I saw a quote that was very reminiscent of his teachings by that one fucking guy that we watched the TED Talk on. I forget his name.
Oh, I know who you mean.
And he was like, he said, and I quote, "The good news is I know how to get you rich. The bad news is it's going to take a while." So it's like there's no short ways about it.
Yeah.
So we're just following all the steps in that fucking book. We're going to go for it. Yeah. Easy peasy. Is there anything I'm missing for my goals?
Yes.
I hit 315 on the squat.
Yes, there is. I don't remember what it is.
Go to the board real quick.
I remember you saying you wanted to add something to it. Okay, so you have your books, your weight.
Books, weight.
You want to journal more?
I want to journal more.
And my goals are going to be finish 5 classes this year because I'm still in the process of finishing my bachelor's in computer science. So that's going to be 2 in the spring, 1 in the summer, and just 2 more in the fall. Should not be too hard. And then I just want to read 3 books this year. I think it's going to be an interesting year for us. I think it's going to be very similar to 2024 in a way.
Should I shave my head?
That yes.
Are you sure?
Whatever you want to do, I support.
Whatever I want to do?
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
I'll do it right now.
I'll do it for you, yeah.
Is that no? I want to do it.
Okay, whatever you want.
I just want to lock in. And
this hair, it holds him back, it gets stuck in the air between his hair, and it's such a burden to have beautiful, beautiful hair.
Do you know the truth?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay? It's a burden to have beautiful, beautiful hair. Like, ever since I was in the fucking middle school or whatever, like, everybody's always complimenting me on my hair. And I'm like, I don't fucking care. So I got dreadlocks. And then everybody hated it. I was like, fuck yeah, I love it. And I had that for 7 years. And then people started loving it. And then when I talked about cutting off my dreads, they were like, no, don't do it. We all love it. And I was like, that's exactly why I'm going to fucking do it. And I got rid of it. And now people love my hair again. And like, I hate the fact that I do care what other people think. But I don't know. I just want to be ugly for a little while. I'm tired of having nice hair. I want to have a nice body before I can have nice hair. It doesn't make me feel good that people only compliment my hair most of the time, you know? Yeah, but only people that know. Only people that work out know that I'm like in good shape. If not, you see me in normal t-shirt or something, like, oh, look at that fat guy, you know?
At least he has beautiful hair.
Exactly. So I'm gonna fucking cut it off, bro.
Okay.
Do I do it here? You just clean.
Yeah, I did. I want you to do what you want to do. This is completely not my choice.
Well, you still love me?
I will always love you.
I can shave it off on the tablecloth.
I mean, hair is easy to clean. I'll fucking vacuum it up.
Just vacuum it up? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it. It's time to lock in, lads. Are you sure you're okay with this?
Of course, it's your hair. If this is what you want to do, then you should do it.
I don't want to do this. I feel like I have to. I feel like I have to. You know, I feel like everything is impermanent. I feel like the hair is gonna grow back either way.
It is.
I keep telling myself, oh, I'll shave it when I start balding. But at that point, it's probably too late, right? So I feel like I just have to do it. And part of me is also, and like, this is not going anywhere. I don't even know if I'll post any of it, but my point stands that part of it is also, I kind of want to do it in solidarity with who's been shaved in prison. I hope this doesn't break the magic.
Did it?
I don't know. I guess we'll see. Okay. You ready?
Yes.
I'm gonna do it. See?
My brain is saying, I have to tell you, you don't have to do this, but if you really want to do this, I support it.
You don't want me to do this?
Yes, I do, but only if it's really what you want to do. If you
keep saying things like that. I don't want to do this.
You don't want to do this?
No, of course not. Why would I want to do this? I look way better with hair.
But you feel like you need to do this.
I need to do this. I gotta lock in. I gotta be ugly for a while. I gotta lock in. I gotta be bald until I'm 15% body fat. And then I can be sexy again with my luscious hair.
Support.
Okay. No backsies. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. You're about to cry.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Nice. Let's go. Nice. Nice. How are you feeling?
Good, good, good.
The sun can't even look. She's looking away. She's like, I don't know this man. Where's right there? Let's go. All right. Yoink. Let's fucking go, bro. Nice. How's it looking, babe?
It's looking good. It's a clean shave.
Okay, go looking. I'll tell you that.
Really?
Yeah, you look very much not in.
No, okay.
Look like you hate everything that's going on right
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I think it's good. This is what you need. You should do it now.
now. Let's fucking go. What are you thinking? What's going through your head?
I think the side shave looked really good.
Oh, that
my-
feels so weird. Yes. How does it feel?
Good.
You promise?
Promise. I love it too. Oh my god. Oh my baby.
I love you.
I love you too.